Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today in our Math 7 class we're going to go over the worksheet that I gave you yesterday to do. You should have done the Math 6, Math 7. This came out of the 6th grade book. Chapter 1, Lesson 2, Skills Practice, which deals with ratios. And then we're going to go over the back side too. So please get your worksheet out and grade it. If you don't have your worksheet, you'll need to get a separate sheet of paper and write these answers on a separate sheet of paper. I will be collecting this when I come back on Friday. The ratios side. It says write each ratio as a fraction in simplest form, then explain its meaning. In problem number 1, you will have 3/6. Simplified fraction is 1/2. It means that for every one sailboat, there are 2 fan boats. So, 1 sailboat, there are 2 fan boats. You can abbreviate in this section as opposed to writing the full word out. Number 2. The first number is always your numerator. The second number is your denominator. It simplifies to 2/3. 2 tulips. There are 3 daffodils. Number 3. 5/30 simplifies to 1/6. For 1 duck, there are 6 geese. I'll just put G for geese. Number 4, 5/25. That will simplify to the 1/5. 1 baseball to 5 softballs. Number 6. 6/18 simplifies to 1/3. 1 poodle for every 3 beagles. 10/12 will simplify to 5/6. 5 brown eggs to 6 white eggs. Let's go to the next section here. Find the ratio of pink stripes to green stripes. In number 7, it will end up being 16/20, which simplifies to 4/5. Number 8, 9/, what is the ratio? Oh, trombones to trumpets. So trombones will be on top, trumpets, and that will simplify to 3/5. Number 9, lions to tigers. 10/14, 5/7. What is the ratio of bills to letters? So 8/18, and that will simplify to 4/9. Just to review quickly, there are 3 ways to write a ratio. For this one, you can write them as a fraction. There's the TO for to 9 and the colon. Those are the 3 ways to write a ratio. All right, now let's go on to number 11. What is the ratio of students playing volleyball to the total number of students? Okay, so you add all the students together, and when you do that, you will have 36. So volleyball to total, that will be 12/36. Write the ratio as a fraction in simplest form. And what that means is 1 out of 3 students play volleyball. 1 out of 3 students play volleyball. Number 12, the fruit salad problem. Find the ratio of kiwis to the total number of pieces of fruit in the fruit salad. Write the ratio as a fraction in simplest form. So, what do we have for kiwis? 6 over the total amount. 12 plus 14 will be 26, total of 36. That simplifies to 1/6, and there is 1 kiwi for every 6 pieces of fruit. Now, let's go to the other side. On this side, we're talking about rates and unit rates. It says write each rate as a unit rate. 3 over 6. So we need to get it over a 1. How does a 6 turn into a 1? 6 divided by 6 is 1. 3 divided by 6 is 0.5. So it will be 0.5 inches of rain in 1 hour. Remember, rates are comparing two things with different labels. In number 2, we have dollars to toys. $46 for 5 toys. What will that be for 1 toy? So you divide them both by 5, and when you divide 46 by 5, that'll end up being 9.2, or $9.20 for 1 toy. Number 3, 70 miles in 2 hours. So we are going to have 70 over 2 miles over hours. In 1 hour, divide them both by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 70 divided by 2 is 35. 35 miles in 1 hour. 64 ounces, 8 cups. 1 cup will have 8 ounces. Number 5, how many students are there per teacher? You have 825 over 55. Students, teachers, you're going to divide both sides by 55, and when you do that, you will have 15. 15 students for 1 teacher. How many minutes of talk does she get per dollar? So we want minutes on top and dollar on bottom. So we have 160 minutes, $40 for $1. And you will end up 4 minutes for $1. Number 7. Miss Farley made 72 ounces of hamburger into 24 meat patties. How many ounces of hamburger are there in each meat patty? So we're going to have hamburger on top, patties on bottom. So we have 72 for 24 patties. How much will that be for 1 patty? Divide 24 by 1, or 24 by 24 to get 1. And then divide 72 by 24, and you will have 3. So 3 ounces for 1 patty. In number 8, for each team, find the unit rate of games per losses. Okay, 36 games, 12 losses. That will simplify to 3 games per 1 loss. Pink Sox, you have 68 over 17. Your total will be 4. 4 games per loss. The Go-Go Girls, 52 over 13. And that will equal 4. And the High Five, 72 over 8, and that equals 9. Which team has the best record? It would be High Fives. Because more games per losses. Explain how you would know. They play 9 games to 1 loss. The others would be 4 games and then they would lose, or 3 games and then they would lose. Number 10, Franco is making breakfast. He uses 36 eggs for 12 orders. How many eggs does he use per order? So it's 36 over 12. We want to know for 1 order, divide them both by 12, and you are going to get 3 eggs for 1 order. Trains. How far does the train travel per hour? You have 558 miles in 3 hours. In 1 hour, 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 558 divided by 3 will give you the answer 186 miles in 1 hour. Number 12, a bus makes 28 stops every 2 hours. How many stops does it make in 3 hours and 4 hours? In this problem, we are first going to find our unit rate. So 14 stops in 1 hour. Now, if it does 14 stops in 1 hour, for 3 hours, you're just going to take 14 times 3, and you're going to have 42 stops. And for 4, you take 14 times 4, and 56 stops. Now, I would like for you to go get your Volume 1. You heard me correctly. You're going to get your Volume 1 books. And we are going to go to page 9. Page 9 in Volume 1. And we're going to talk about rates. So in the diagram below, it wants us to record the rates. We're not going to take the time to do the pulse rate and things. It says choose a partner and take their pulse for 2 minutes. We won't have time to do that today. So we're going to set this up, just copy down what I have here for that. So the beats, 160 beats in 2 minutes. All right. So beats in 2 minutes is going to equal 160. Number of beats in 1 minute, well, 160 divided by 2 would be 80. So you have 2 80s equal the 2 minutes of 160. So your partner's heart beats blank times per minute. We're going to say 80 times per minute. Problem number 3. Use the results from exercise 1 to determine the number of beats for half a minute. Well, you're going to take 80 times a half, and you will get 40 beats in a half a minute, or 30 seconds. Let's turn to page 10 in your math book now. We're going to talk about a unit rate. I know we did some unit rates before, so we're just going to look at our unit rates that we have on this page here. It says, find your unit rate. A ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units is called a rate. When you found each other's pulse, you were actually finding the heart rate, 160 beats per 2 minutes. When a rate is simplified so that it has a denominator of 1 unit, it is called a unit rate. So 80 beats in 1 minute would be a unit rate. The table below shows some common unit rates. Number of miles per hour. Miles per hour, an abbreviation is MI over H or MPH, and that means your average speed. Number of miles per gallon, or for 1 gallon, means miles per gallon. Miles a gallon, or MPG, miles per gallon, and that's your gas mileage. Number of dollars for 1 pound, price per pound, dollars per pound. The slanty line you can use for per, and that means the unit price. Now let's go and look at example number 1. In example number 1, it says, Adrian biked 24 miles in 4 hours. If she biked at a constant speed, how many miles did she ride in 1 hour? Well, 24 miles over 4 hours would be 6 miles in 1 hour. It says find each unit rate in this section here. So round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So in letter A, you are going to have 300 over 6. And that, when you divide 300 by 6, you're going to get $50 an hour. And that's how we got $50 per hour. Now, in the next one, 220 miles, 8 gallons, you're going to have 220 divided by 8, and you'll end up with 27.5. Please show this work in your math book. Don't just write down the answer. And so 8 goes into 22 2 times. That's 16. Subtract, you get a 6. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 67 times. 56. Subtract. Put in a decimal. Add a 0. Bring it down. 8 will divide 45 times. 27.5 miles per gallon is what we end up with.